Athletes, welcome back. We've got your quality workout today. So this is gonna be bodybuilding-esque. And if that frightens you, because you're like, I'm trying to tone and not get bulky, you're not gonna get bulky, I promise. You're gonna get stronger and be a better version of yourself. But we got some pressing overhead, we got some bent over rowing and some renegade positions, and we're gonna finish it off with some core work. We got Jess, we got Katie, and we are ready to work out with you. Athletes, your warm-up is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock, and we are ready to go into this warm-up. We are going to be starting with a pressed overhead in 3, 2, 1, go. We've got 10 reps of this. So really, we're looking at quality movement here. I don't need you to go fast. I don't need you to go slow. Just give me Goldilocks and make it right in the middle. We're working on getting a full range of motion here. So extending all the way to our end range and then coming back down. Elbows coming in front of our hands at the bottom. After that, we are going to bend over and get into the top of a deadlift position if we were right at top of the knee. So we're loaded into our hamstrings, and we're gonna row and reach. So we're gonna cross those arms in front and then pull those elbows towards each other and then back in front, pull those elbows back, alternating which hand goes on top. After we get on with that, we're getting down on the floor and we are going into our alternating V-ups, 5 on each side. So we're down on the ground. It's gonna be opposite hand, opposite foot. Thank you so much. We got our cheering section back once again, and you're gonna hear them cheer if they see quality movement. So we're going for quality today, and we got some extra encouragement. So it's 5 on each side here. Next, we're gonna stand up, and we're gonna go into our variation of the movement in the workout. So Katie's gonna stay on the floor, and she's gonna go into a seated crush grip, press overhead, and then I'm gonna have Jess go into a banded strict press. We're using this round to go through and make sure that our band tension is correct, to make sure that our dumbbell weight is correct. You're only doing 5 reps here, so just get a feel for it because you're gonna get plenty of reps in the workout. With your bands, anytime you're using them, please inspect them for any tears, snags, anything like that, because we do not want that breaking on you mid-workout. After that, we're gonna have Jess going into a renegade row with no weight, so she's gonna get into the top of a push-up position. She's gonna move her feet out so she has a nice stable base, and then she's gonna pull that hand back. We've got Katie doing a modified version of a row. So if you got any hip issues and getting in that plank position is tough, we're gonna go into a bent over position. We're gonna have one dumbbell and we are gonna row back with that dumbbell. We're gonna use that for Katie's version of today's workout. If you guys are gonna be doing the dumbbell renegade row with single arm, it's the same thing Jess is doing. You're just gonna have a dumbbell in that hand instead of going body weight. We're back into our 5 alternating V-ups on each side. Once we're done with 5 each side, the cheering section is warmed up. They are ready to see some good movement, as am I. Make sure that you take care of whatever you need to. Turn your cell phone on silent, grab some water. We got your quality workout coming up next. Athletes, your workout is here. I hope the remote's gonna work. We have 10 seconds on the clock. That is it, new batteries. And we are going into our workout for quality, starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now, when I say for quality, all of our workouts should be for quality, but we do add a certain degree of intensity to those workouts that you're gonna feel like your heart rate is getting elevated. When we focus on quality, you can go at whatever speed you want, and I'm really concerned with getting that movement as textbook as possible. When we speed a movement up for a regular workout, you may see that you don't get to the exact specifications to where you know you have to clean up some of those reps. But for today, take your time, live in the moment, focus on the movement that you're doing at the current set, and don't try to rush through it. Because if you want to make this, if you want to make a comparison, this would be something similar that if you went into a regular gym and you had your weight day, this is what we are doing. So I want nice controlled movement throughout. We're gonna try to eliminate any type of momentum that we put into our reaching with the bent over rows or in our pressing overhead. After both athletes are finished up with our renegade rows or our bent over rows, we're going into our alternating V-ups, and we've got 30 reps here. So with this, the secret to get 90 of these done in this entire workout is that you wanna think about going up with that hand and that foot, making contact with each other, and then right back down. We don't have to turn this strict. I did talk about eliminating momentum and movements. With this, it is not gonna be considered adding momentum to it if you think about a nice snappy close. so that we can touch that hand to our foot, and then we're going right back down. Don't try to make it into a negative unless you're trying to give yourself an extra challenge here. When we're doing these 30, if we find that going to our toe is a little too difficult, we can go to ankles, we can go to shin, we can go to knees. You can even take it to where you eliminate your lower body with it, and we can just reach our hand up across our body and then try to touch that opposite hip with our hand. So you choose the variation that you want to do here. Make sure that it's at your fitness level, and then push it just a little bit above so that we do feel like we're being challenged throughout our 3 rounds here. Now what we're gonna have is that we got a 1 minute rest when you're done. When you're done, you can lay there, you can get up, you can do whatever you want to. I would prefer, and it would make me happy, if you roll over into a seal pose. If you roll over into a seal pose and you end up getting that core opened up. Now everybody's gonna be on their own time frame today, depending on how fast or how purposeful you're moving in that set, because I don't wanna say slow, because you weren't moving slow. But we want to think about those muscles that we used. So it's shoulders, it's back. So think about throwing, do some arm throws for me, do some arm circles, get your body opened up. You have your custom rest time of your minute, and then you go into set number 2. Again, we've got our 10 reps on our shoulder to overhead movement, whether it's banded or it's going to be our seated Z press with a crush grip. After that, we are going into our renegade rows or our bent over rows with the dumbbell. That's 20 total, or 10 on each side. And then we go into our 30 alternating V-ups once again. We didn't get enough of those in the first round, so we got 2 more rounds of 30 reps total. We got both athletes going into set number 2. With our Z press, this is going to be a variation that makes it really difficult to get to that full extension, because you can't cheat. You can't overextend through your lower back to try to get that overhead, and we don't want that anyways. The Z press is really going to isolate on your upper body mobility and force you into a good position there. So if you haven't done it before, it's a great movement to add to your routine so that you can work on that upper body strength. We got Katie going into her bent over row. Now for the bent over row, if Katie needed to, she could take her free hand and brace against a box or an object so she can keep herself stable. With today, she's doing a great job of keeping that core engaged throughout, and we're going through our 10 reps on one side and then 10 reps on the other. We've got Jess in her plank position working on these renegade rows. And on your renegade rows, think about treating it like you would a bear crawl or a handstand walk. And we shift towards that hand that's on the floor, lift that hand up, and then put it back down and shift to the other side. A wider stance with your feet is going to provide a more stable base for you so that you're going to be able to stay in a correct and safe position. We got both athletes super excited to go into our V-ups again. And again, we're working quality here, so you can rest whenever you need to, but focus on resting just enough so you can go into your reps. So we got 30 reps here, so if you want to break it up into sets of 10, you definitely can. We think about going into this, and we're going to rest for 5 seconds and go right back into our next one. We want to breathe out every time we close that core up and get into that next V-up rep. We've got Jess modifying to go into a bent knee position, which is completely fine and completely acceptable. I want you guys to make sure that if you need to modify to a similar movement so that we can make sure that we are staying quality on our reps, that's what I want to see. And you are allowed to make noises right now. I'm getting some comments, and I love it because it means that they're working hard here. That's what I want to see from you guys at home. So keep moving steady here. Keep working through these reps. We are done with set number 2 after these V-ups. We get our minute of rest, and then we got one more, and that is it. Days like today, when we're focused on specific quality for this, are great because it helps you work on those stabilizers that may not get a lot of focus when we're doing movements that we add momentum into. So a comparison on our strict press overhead could be a shoulder to overhead, where we use assistance from our lower body to send that dumbbell up to full extension. But for today, you get no assistance from your lower body. It's all that shoulder pump. We're working on boulder shoulders today, and we are getting quality on every single rep that we do. If you need to adjust the weight that you're using or your band tension because you found it's a little too easy or a little bit too hard, you can do that now because we're going into our last and final set, and I want these reps to be perfect. So show me what you got here. Give me the best reps possible. We got both athletes going into our final 3rd set. With our press overhead, Jess did inspect the band to make sure that there are no tears or chunks taken out of that band, because we always want to prioritize safety. We got Katie going into her Z press with that crush grip, doing a great job of keeping her back straight as we press through, and she is breathing out every time she presses. Next, we're going into that bent over row. She's gonna grab her dumbbell, and again, we're making sure that core stays engaged the entire time. Katie's doing this because she's got a little bit of an IT band issue. So getting into the plank will irritate that a little bit based on what she's given feedback on. So we want to modify that to something that allows her to do a similar movement, but not exacerbate that existing injury or irritation that she's got. We got Jess taking a quick break on these renegade rows, which is perfect because she knows when that form starts to break down, I want to see rest rather than trying to grind through those last couple of reps. And it is okay to do a 5 to 10 second rest, because it's not enough to lose what you've already accomplished here. It's just enough to give yourself a second to shake out and then get right back into those final reps. We got Katie onto her alternating V-ups. We got Jess onto her alternating V-ups. And again, this is the point. This is the last one. I need quality here. I know that it's tough because we've already done 60 of these. We are gonna have 90 alternating V-ups by the end of this. Your core is gonna be so strong. Your body's gonna thank you for getting the one part of it that controls everything else nice and shored up, so we can tackle whatever comes our way. Whether you gotta carry heavy groceries, or you gotta hang on to a toddler on the side, or you're having to do yard work, or you got a job that requires a lot of core stability, we're getting it all in right now. And we've got Katie is done, and Jess is done, and we are all done. And that is it for a quality workout. Jess, great job. Katie, great job. We got your cool down coming up next, and I know after 90 V-ups, you better stick around for it. So stick around, coming at you in a second with that cool down. Athletes, if you don't think I can do my closeout holding a baby, I've got an RX Plus closeout for us today. So great job on the workout that you did. Our V-ups look great. Can you give them a thumbs up? Yeah, big smile. Off for me, so I guess it's back to the RX closeout. But athletes, wonderful job today. Now, if you enjoyed today's workout, we've got tons of other workouts for quality and for intensity, or whatever your goals might be. You're gonna find a like-minded community of athletes, and if you just worked out, you are an athlete, so don't try to underqualify yourself. It will encourage you along the way to your goals, whether you wanna be a fitter version of yourself each day and be able to tackle life a little bit easier, or make it all the way to the competition floor. So start that 7-day free trial right now and join us for the next workout. Now, you got your cool down listed here, and you know that your body just took care of you, so you gotta take care of your body. I know it's really easy to skip this part, but Katie wants you to do it. Jess wants you to do it. Our camera guy, Josh, wants you to stick around for the cool down. So please, stick around, take care of yourself. And as always, be good, be kind, and stick around for another great day of fitness.